Get that last no-scope kill and hit pause. It's time for the video game podcast where the Konami code is alive and well. The console wars don't exist. Rings are just as valuable as coins. Pots are not safe from swords. Giant robots kick ass. And fireballs are a perfectly acceptable weapon in a fist fight. That's right, it's time for the Super Gamer Bros Podcast Ultra Hyper Alpha Super EX Double Impact Plus A Live. Settle in and let's get to gaming.
Hey everyone, welcome to Super Gamer Bros, and we are doing Favorites Week this week. Super excited to do this, because,
But it's not Halloween, so it's not my favorite week.
Oh, see.
We're prepping for it.
We're going to have a whole month of Halloween stuff, so be prepared for that. But yeah, our Favorites Week. So I'm one of your fun gamers, Slayton. You can find me on Xbox all the time. With me, just relaxing and chill in fucking the anime world, is Cassandra.
I redid my office. I love this. I'm comfy on a couch.
She pulled this stuff out. Like, yo, I'm just gonna be comfortable doing the show. You know what? Whatever. Like, I'm trying to work on my lighting in here.
If I have to yell at Gavin, I might as well be comfortable doing it.
No such thing. And we're also joined by Cynic.
Yes, awaiting my green screen in my normal room.
Did you buy the one from the ceiling or just a stand-up one?
No, there's one on the. Depending on how things are set up, sometimes the ceiling works just fine, and I think the ceiling is working okay today. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong.
That's what I have. Is I have the pull-down green screen on the ceiling, so I just got to work on my lighting in here because I'm used to going between multiple rooms. That I keep moving stuff, so I just got to stop moving shit.
Gotcha.
I just have this is a green cloth on a wall that's just taped, thumbtacked very tight like a drum.
Yeah. All right, so Favorites Week. We're going to talk about our favorite things about video gaming all week long, and we're going to kick it off with our favorite characters. You know, the ones that we love, the ones we talk about all the time, the ones that we just love going back to visit, all of that kind of stuff. So I guess I want to ask right off the top, what is everyone's most favorite video game character ever?
Ever.
So I'm going to give Pocky 3 guesses what mine is.
Ooh la la.
Yes! Ooh la la. Let me just, okay.
Take a shot, kids.
Take a shot, children. We're talking about Space Channel 5 while these two think of theirs. There was just something about Sega and Space Channel 5 that was just magical. It was that weird retro 50s sci-fi future with the bright colors and the ridiculously awesome soundtrack that you danced to. And it was ridiculous. Like, the space cops were fucking strippers. Like, it had Michael Jackson in it. And just everything about this series just hit it for me. Because I do like the weird shit in games sometimes. Like, I loved Incredible Crisis and Seaman, whatever it was called. Like, those weird fucking games.
Who didn't love Seaman? A
lot of people, because it's a creepy Japanese salmon fish man talking to you.
But Leonard Nimoy narrates, so yeah.
I wonder how much they paid him to do that when he saw it. It's like, so I need to narrate you talking to Japanese-faced fish. Just give me the check. Like,
he sounds like he puts quite a bit of effort into it. That's just Nimoy being the consummate professional.
I think he's like McKellen, just constant professional.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever play the Civilization where he narrates?
No, I did not.
I probably did. I played most of Civilization.
Civ 3 or 4, Leonard Nimoy narrates the game. Like if you do a major event, he'll read a summary or something from it. It's like, I mean, because when you start off the game, he starts off with the book of Genesis. Like, in the beginning, there was darkness, and then God said, "Let there be light." And you just hear that from Leonard Nimoy's voice. It's great.
So, yeah, no matter what outfit she's in, the orange one is the best. It is all about Ooh La La for me. She takes the top of my list of favorite characters ever. And I think that gave you guys enough time to come up with yours, because I kind of threw this on you. So let's go to Cynic. Who is your all-time favorite character?
Well, this shouldn't. I'll give you. How about this? I'll also give you 3 guesses. on who might bite.
Sub-Zero.
It's a little predictable, but it's Sub-Zero. It absolutely is Sub-Zero.
How well do we know each other in this little triad we got going on? Because I'll tell you what, I could not even begin to guess what Pocky's is going to be. She's got some crazy shit up her sleeve, probably.
Yeah, I would say I got to go into detail a little bit. We got to say which one are we thinking here, because I was around and very much loving Mortal Kombat 1. It was a very long time ago, and
we're not that old.
We definitely are.
We're not that old, Cynic.
We are. We just look great. I mean, I look great still, so it's fine. So Sub-Zero.
What about chopped liver over here?
Not chopped. So anyway, Sub-Zero definitely left an impression by having the Predator spine rip fatality, going for him and everything. But I think, one of the few people on this planet who like Mortal Kombat mythologies. Going from that storyline, that Sub-Zero becomes Noob Saibot. So that's like Bihan, the awesome character. Like, what a crazy arc. Story-wise for a character to go through, like a hell of a development. Then you have his younger brother who takes over the Sub-Zero mantle in Mortal Kombat 2, who, continues to be Sub-Zero up until this day. And I'm a huge fan of both. If I had to pick one, I guess I'd have to give it to Kuai Liang, the younger Sub-Zero brother. Because, I mean, he's been Sub-Zero the longest, and he's had the most character development as the Sub-Zero character. So I'm going to go ahead and give it to Kuai Liang, youngest. It was a toss-up. It very much was a toss-up between, like, that and maybe Master Chief. I was very close to picking either Master Chief or, like, Kane or Raziel. So those are very close. Very close.
I could see Master Chief, but that didn't even cross my mind. It is completely Sub-Zero. Like,
oh yeah.
When we talk about merchandise later on, I'll talk to you about that. But
I mean, Mortal Kombat could take over all merchandise, all favorites of all time. So I think going forward, I'm just going to have to pick my second under Mortal Kombat for everything else. If we're going to have any kind of, if this is going to be interesting coming from me.
All right, so let's get to Cassandra and see what she has to say, who her all-time favorite character is.
My all-time favorite character is actually
If you say
Igor.
Tom Nook, I will hit you in the face.
No, God, I'm not about predatory capitalism. No, it's Igor from the Persona franchise. He's the only returning character in all the games. He is such an important character, and he's so awesome, and he has his quips, his things to the players about like what they're going through, what they're doing, his hints about what's going on. And he's such an important character to the franchise and to the story that his Japanese voice actor died. And in Japan, in a lot of voice things, it's very rude to replace that actor. Like he was known for that role. And he died right before 5 started doing the voice acting for it. So there is a spoiler on why it's a new voice actor, but he is such an iconic character that everyone's worried about how they're going to put him in 6 if they're not replacing the voice actor. But that line you hear every time when you see him, you know what he's about to say about the Velvet Ring.
They can kind of get close to the voice with these voice actors. I mean, that's why they're voice actors.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a cultural thing, is what you're saying there. Is that right, Pocky?
Yeah. Well, it's also like it would be like taking a friend of ours, Jessica Covello. It'd be like if they did another Cutie Honey, if she passes on and they do another Cutie Honey, do you get another dub? I mean, because Jessica Covello is Cutie Honey to a lot of people, and it would be very thing to replace her. And in Japan also particularly, like Kira Toriyama has said he's not going to put Bluma in any more Dragon Ball stories because the voice actress who played her for all of Dragon Ball passed away. And he's like, out of respect to her, Bluma will not have any speaking lines. She'll show up, but she won't talk. And that's out of respect for her.
Definitely not an American tradition there because they'll replace you in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. With Matthew Mercer or something.
So we've talked about our favorite characters. Let's talk about our contending favorite characters that we love. I've got a bunch of them in my house, actually. That's why I love Funko. They've pretty much hit every one of my fandoms, but I have slowed down on it.
I need to get back into it. So.
For me, like, I don't really attach myself to a lot of video game characters because usually they're very generic. Like, I'm attached to my Guardian, but that's specifically me. But when I jump into like some of the other games, it's really hard for me to kind of like love somebody, which is one of the reasons why I loved Commander Shepard. Like,
I'll give that one to you, Commander Shepard.
Whether you play Fem Shep or Male Shep, I always did Male Shep. You know, that was such a well-developed character that you explored over 3 games that you just really cared about, and I absolutely ate it up. I've got the Commander Shepard Funko Pop in my house. Like, I need to really get an Omniblade though, just so I can have it, an Omnitool in the house, just so people are like, what the fuck is that? Like, I know they sell them the full-size ones. I could print one, but it'd probably be better just to buy one. It'd be faster. But there's Commander Shepard, and he's big. I do like Master Chief, but from 1, 2, and 3, after that, I just stopped really caring. It's just, there's only so much you can do, but when it comes to Halo, I loved Cortana. She was just so spunky. The voice actress just kind of made it. Like, Cortana was, to me, what made Halo, because, I mean, smart-ass AI, that's not trying to kill you. It's actually there to help you. I mean,
you really felt her absence in the beginning of 3 and then 5 when she's gone. Like she makes those all of those games featuring Chief much more entertaining without her constant commentary and battle plans and all that. It loses a lot of its luster.
To me, she was the, even though she was an AI, she was the human side of that game. She genuinely had responses for things that, like, Master Chief in a way was just shrugging off, and Cortana's all like,
"No, don't do that.
We're not going to cover this."
Like, and so it goes back to, it's an AI companion that's not stupid. They constantly, like the Ghost in Destiny, can't fucking unlock a door in 5 minutes. Like, come on now. It was a character that they really thought out and developed as well.
She was really one of the most human characters in the game, ironically enough.
Which that played direct opposite to the stoic, what is he, Master Chief? So the two of them came together really well.
It was definitely by design, because the whole story is that Chief has had his humanity stripped away during this whole process of him becoming a Spartan. And I mean, she gives a lot of the humanity back to him. That's definitely by design and a great choice.
And the last one I have for my woulda coulda list was Revan, because I talk a lot about stories being spoiled in modern games, and I don't know how they kept that one under wraps for so long, but Revan from Knights of the Old Republic just was everything. And that's what, to me, Star Wars needs to go back to being, is that unexpected, have fun, tell great stories, not be bogged down by original characters. Just go to town, because Revan was a lot of fun. It was another one like Shepard. You got to just kind of make it your own, but everyone had that experience together. And it was fun going through that experience at the time with everybody, because we all kind of hit that point where the oh shit moment happened for everybody pretty much the same time. We're like, oh yeah, because it was before the internet, data mining, and things like that. So those are my characters that would on my woulda, coulda, shoulda list.
I missed out on that moment. That's a moment I really wish I had experienced, because I hear people talk about that moment all the time. Like, it's on everybody's oh god moment list, you know?
Yeah.
It was epic. It would be on the point of epicness.
Yeah, that and the Would You Kindly Sing has always been people's top 10 list of oh god moments in a game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very cool.
So let's hit up Cassandra. Let us know what your woulda, coulda, shoulda for top spots are.
So my coulda, woulda, coulda, and I was tempted to make this guy number 1, but I haven't played it long enough to, like, is it gonna stick? But that's Zagreus from Hades. Because I want him to succeed. Like, and it's not even just beating the game. I want I want to get there. Like I want to, as much as he does, I want to succeed for him. And all his stories, as you unlock more and more details, as long as you get more and more information about what's going on in that world, and you unlock those relationships, the world gets bigger. But you're there with Zagreus, and he is such a fun character because as you play with him, he starts maturing as a character slowly, where he's starting to realize his actions, even though he's going to do them, are going to have these big consequences, and he doesn't care because the first taste of success he gets, he's now completely driven. When you get your first success, when you defeat Hades for the first time, you and Zagreus now are completely driven to do whatever it is that needs to be completed. But you need to defeat Hades 10 more times.
Yeah.
Recent pick. I've yet to play Hades, so got to go to it.
It is fun. I picked it up for a while this weekend after I played a different game for a little bit.
I haven't heard one bad word about it.
That's always a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also, that game was made with no crunch.
Crunch is what makes the world go round.
Not according to that game.
Always a nice checkbox to have in there.
Yep.
And then my second one actually is my second one is actually Tifa from Final Fantasy VI, and it's because kind of the same thing. She starts off as a mindless slave that is, kind of programmed to kill, and then she gets the horrible realizations of the things she's done, and by the end of 6, she defeats the man who wanted to be her, like her species. And
now, is this Terra by chance?
Yeah, Terra.
Very cool.
6, yeah. 3, aka 6. Yeah, I mean, that was an awesome story. And when she goes Super Saiyan, when she goes full Esper, it just unloads devastating damage, and you're like, what were we partied with this entire time? Who was our main character? And it's like, yeah, it's just an awesome story. And her progress and her becoming like a mother to a group of orphans, the end of what happens with her at the end, after the end of the world, and just all of her story and everything going forward with her, and just it was awesome. And yeah, she's just this purple Esper being that like nukes.
I'll definitely agree with you. I think if there's any Final Fantasy that needed a remake, it wasn't 7. 7 was good, but
y'all are smoking crack. It's the only one that ever needed a remake.
I'm waiting for that 6. That if they make a full-on Final Fantasy 6 with graphical updates and everything, but keeping in tradition with the turn-based elements. And six has the best story of them, like by far.
Y'all are smoking crack.
You obviously haven't played 6.
I have played 6.
Did you get to the end of the world?
Yes.
Okay.
7 to me is just end all be all, which we'll talk about later. Anybody else before we head over to Cynic?
No, I was just going to do 2 because
all right.
Of course, I have more, but no.
Cool. Well, I guess I kind of gave my second favorite away earlier. We had Sub-Zero, then we had Master Chief. So the other 2, we've already talked about the Chief enough, I think. So we'll throw him in there, and I'll have to tie these 2 together. I'll have to go with Raziel and Kane from the Legacy of Kane series. I'm really glad you brought up Shepard, because I think Shepard is way up there. I was crushed at the end of 3. When you kind of have to let this character go, or at least it's ambiguous depending on the way you choose to go. It was not
ambiguous. I melded the entire universe.
Yeah, so did I. I was pretty. I mean, it's an old game, so yeah, I was pretty crushed when I made that decision and Shepard went bye. What great character development over all 3 games. I mean, the enormous amount of pressure those developers were under to try and make something that's going to exceed expectations, or at least meet expectations after 3 games of character development. Wow. Kane and Raziel. I'll put those 2 together just because they're so intertwined in the Legacy of Kane series. And they both just have incredible stories. The writer of the Legacy of Kane series escapes me off the top of my head, but she made incredible characters in Kane, the nobleman who dies only to be resurrected as a vampire by Mortanius, who is trying to heal the circle by killing the circle, including himself, and he makes the selfish decision to continue living and thus damn the world without going too deep into the story, which also is kind of the plan. And then Raziel is the redemptive soul-eating vampire after Kane kills him out of jealousy, as far as Raziel can tell. But it turns out that the killing was in fact not out of jealousy, but a way to try and beat fate by allowing Raziel to die and become a soul-sucking vampire. And like, if you play through all 5 of those games, because you have Blood Omen 1 and 2, Soul Reaver 1 and 2, and then Defiance, which brings them all together. I think Defiance could have been a little better. Not gonna lie, but man, do I wish they would bring that series back. And I think a few key things are missing in the writer, and then Tony J, the voice actor for the Elder God. Everybody else are older, experienced voice actors that are incredibly. These games are incredibly well acted. So I can't say enough good things about Legacy of Kane. I really wish it would come back, and I really don't think we'll see its like again, because all the pieces are apart at this point. But
Yeah.
I'll definitely give it to those characters. I think maybe Solid Snake is probably going to be up there for me too. I think games are much better at allowing you to think that your protagonist is in danger or indeed may very well be killed off. But Metal Gear Solid 4, just starting off as Old Snake, being vulnerable due to your cellular degeneration, and then near the end of the game, the way they put you through your paces and put him through so much pain, just all the character development from Solid 1, 2, and then 4. It's amazing. It's really, truly amazing. If people still haven't managed to play the core Metal Gear Solid games featuring Solid Snake, really all the Metal Gear games are amazing, but specifically Snake gets put through his paces in I truly did not want to let that character go by the end of 4, which doesn't mean he dies, by the way. It just means, he's on his way out, you know?
Well, yeah, we can keep talking about characters. Because
Definitely.
there's so many, but I just
many.
wanted to figure out what y'all's favorites were. This has been really interesting.
Yeah.
I did expect some of the ones from Cassandra, and I did expect most of the ones from Cynic. Not that
You expected Sub-Zero for sure.
I expected Sub-Zero, Master Chief. I didn't expect Solid Snake, because I do agree with you. He is a very classic character, but ready to ruin the entire series for him. That's a whole other story.
Another episode. Characters that ruined franchises.
All right, so we're going to be back tomorrow to talk about our favorite bad guys in video games as we continue Favorites Week right here at Super Gamer Bros. You can catch us every day at 5:30, I think is what I moved this to, so people can watch us. And we just have fun. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Don't forget to comment, like, share, watch the video. Let us know
Also,
who your
don't
favorites
forget
are.
to watch Brad Webb. Reb.
We have Red Web.
So.
Oh, and they last week was Shang-Chi week. They did a really good job with Shang-Chi week last week, so go get caught up on those. And we'll see you guys tomorrow to talk villains. That's supposed to make you at least laugh.
You'll have to come up with something more clever than clapping your hands together.
He's got
okay.
I was going to say, so Gavin, you have successfully not outdone his infant daughter.
No, not yet.
No.
All right. Jokes for you.
Oh,
Why
God.
did the monkey fall out of the tree? Because he was dead.
Just continue. There we go.
Why did the second monkey fall out of the tree? Because he was dead too. Why did the third monkey fall out of the tree?
I'm not even paying attention
Because it died laughing?
No, peer pressure.
Mmm.
You didn't even crack a smile. Everyone smiles at least. Look, even Pocky's up there smiling with her little smile.
What?
It's the dumbest joke.
I'm only smiling because it's the way to make